Welcome to Good Talk. I'm your host, Cliff Anderson. Glad we had it. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Good Talk. Glad we had it. Per usual, I'm Cliff Anderson, and I'm really glad you guys are here. Decided to join us tonight. This is like the third or fourth episode. Yes, they're a month apart. Judge your mama. I got my homie in the building today, Mr. Josiah Scott.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Glad to be in the building. Glad to be in the beautiful home of Cliff Anderson.
Why you telling me at my house?
Oh.
They ain't never seen this part of the living room.
Oh.
I'm usually back there at the table, but we decided to move over here for this episode. And this episode is important because I feel like myself and Josiah, or Josiah and myself, we are in a similar space, and you'll catch up as we go on in the episodes. But make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Good Talk Show on YouTube. You can at me on Instagram. I'll leave all the information at the bottom in the description. Joe will give out his Instagram, and that also will be at the bottom of the description. So today we're talking about faith out of the familiar. You got two cameras. You saw that?
I was like, look at this guy.
Again, faith out of the familiar. This topic was on my heart, but we was talking about this offline before we even decided to do this episode. And the story that came to my mind was Abraham. Mm-hmm. Backstory: Abraham, at this point in his life, he was older. God had already made a promise to Abraham to give him a son. He was going to be a father of many nations, and he was going to have a son that gained his inheritance and all the blessings that he had from God, like the land, the prosperity, the cattle, everything. And Abraham was older, and Abraham had established himself in the land that he was already in. If you want to read this in the book of Genesis, like chapter 12 to 22, 12. I think. He had already established Abraham in this land, and then one day, God was like, get yourself together and leave. I'm going to send you to another land that I promised you. So he said, leave all your family,
everyone,
and leave everything behind. Mm-hmm. And he was going to give him a double and expected portion of what he had. Not expected, that's the wrong word. But what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Anyway.
Y'all get it. I think y'all get it.
Yeah, y'all get the point. So Abraham did what God said. And then eventually he got to the land of Canaan. And that's where the promise was fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Abraham had all these riches. He'd be a father of many nations. So you know that story already. Yep. And I know that story already. So keep it a buck. Mm-hmm. If you Abraham, what are you saying to God?
I'd be like, are you
initial thought?
What's the first step that I'm taking? In what direction? That's me.
You tweaking, bro.
No, but that's gonna be the question. But it's not like I'm saying yes off rip. I don't think I'm gonna be like, let's go, let's do it. I think I'm just gonna be like, well, what's the first step? What's the first direction you're having me take? I think that would be my mindset, because I always like to think about first weigh the options. That doesn't sound right when you're like, God's asking you something. But that's the reality. You're like, which way? Because it might depend if I say yes or no. I think that's kind of my first.
You're better than me, bro. I think my first initial thought would have been like, how, Sway?
How?
Like, what? Like, excuse me?
Right.
You want me to leave everything behind?
Everything.
Now, I know, like, for me, this resonated with me because y'all been here enough episodes to know that I was in the military, and I joined the military between my junior and senior year of high school. Mm-hmm. So I finished high school my junior year. I went to basic training, came back, graduated, then went off. And I've basically been gone away from home being Chicago, shout out, ever since then.
Right.
Now, that was my choosing. But I remember I was living in California, good old state of California,
Cali.
Living my Cali life. Mm-hmm. And I remember praying, and then one random day, God was like, all right, it's time to go.
Right.
I put my 2 weeks in, because I think I was ready to go anyway.
I'm about to say, because was it that easy for you just to like?
Because I was ready to go.
I was
already ready to go.
All right.
And God was like, all right, it's time to roll bounce.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left. I left California, went to Chicago back to home for a few months, and then I ended up here in Maryland. And God okayed my move from Chicago to Maryland. And that was even, I'm not gonna say it was easy.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy because my son was gonna be here.
Right.
I don't think I would have done it
without
him.
Without him being
the
here.
catalyst to get me here.
Right. What was that? You was talking the other day, and you said your decision to leave the military. How was that? Because you said you were kind of in a place where if you stayed there, you would have stayed there because you was consistently doing it, and you would have just been like, let's rank up.
Right.
But then was that like a decision you made, or was that like a God like, hey?
Okay, so to keep it a stack, so the Army kind of made the decision for me, because I didn't rank up like I feel like I should have, or I feel like I would have.
Gotcha.
And one day I was just driving. I got out the Army in 2014 after being in 9.5 years. And every time I say that, people are like, well, you just stay 20. Well, you just stay 20 or 40. But when I got out, I was driving one day and I was just reflecting. Like I always reflect on things. And God was like, I had to let you get out, or I had to make sure you got out, because you would have stayed in way longer than the intended time.
Right.
I had already been in 9.5 years. I don't think I was supposed to do more than 4.
Right.
But when I was first supposed to get out, because you know how like in the military you have a contract and it's a time length, and my first contract was up, and that was like 4 years or whatever. But I got scared to get out the Army because that's all I knew as a grown up.
Right.
And then I stayed an additional 5 or so years, and that was time misplaced. I don't believe in time wasted. I believe in time misplaced. That's a bar. Write that down on your iPad.
I like that. They got that.
So when I got out, the Lord was like, you stayed in, you would have stayed in way too long.
Right.
And then to circle back to Abraham.
I was just about to go back there.
Go ahead.
I was
about to say the same thing.
I was just about to say, going back to Abraham, what if he renewed his contract in a place that he wasn't supposed to be?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
You see? What if he renewed his contract?
You know what we say?
Because at the end of the day, God does give us free will.
Facts. You don't have to be obedient to the calling.
You don't.
You don't.
You should be. I'm gonna make that clear.
You should.
You should.
But as we say here, it's a lot easier said than done. Everything sounds good in theory.
Right.
I circle back to Abraham because faith and obedience runs parallel.
Yeah.
You can't have one without the other one.
You can't.
Especially in a situation like that where God is calling you. So that's how we got the title of this episode, Faith Out of the Familiar. It was easy to stay in the Army.
Right.
But God, and he knew me. Who doesn't like familiar? We spin the block on relationships. We spin the block on situationships.
Comfortable.
It's easy to be comfortable.
That's like that. The core subject. I think we was on the phone and we kind of came together. I had faith isn't proven in what's familiar. It's revealed when you're willing to leave it.
Sheesh, that's a bar. Say that again for the people in the back.
Faith isn't proven in what's familiar. It's revealed when you're willing to leave it.
Listen to that.
So can you have faith in something that you're not willing to leave, in an area or in a direction God's taking you, if you're not willing to leave for that direction? Do you think so?
I think,
or do you think, there's levels to your faith?
I 100% think so.
Or is it that?
I think it's levels to faith. Like, I feel like it's easier to be obedient in certain areas. Excuse me, because I was so used to moving and leaving and just dropping everything and going. It was easier to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, say for instance, God is telling me to spin the block on a relationship. That's hard. Especially if it didn't end in a tasteful manner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes, I think time misplaced. Sometimes we meet people in a time, and in that time, we don't know how to steward this person or this relationship.
Correct.
So the time misplaced and it becomes a taxing or toxic situation. And sometimes God was like, I gave you her in this moment as an introduction to build a foundation. And then when the time is right, that can become a relationship.
Those relationships are the ones that like hit like
hard like bricks,
in
bro.
here, because you like, hold on, Lord, like I thought this was it, this was the one, but not realizing that there's a portion in you, there's a portion in that person that also isn't ready, but then God bringing you two together, you know, is kind of intertwining what you two do have in common and what you do, I'll say, do well or you're strong at. And eventually you'll help each other to build that foundation. Might not be with each other, but for the next person. So that's kind of how I'm trying to look at, you know, some of the past, you know.
It sounds like you just poured honey on dirt.
Not poured honey on dirt.
Sound like something Shannon Sharp would say. It reminded me of Hagar. So, in the story of Abraham, we was just talking about this on Bible study. Me and my
shout out to Minister Leah Green.
That's crazy work. Me and my taxi partner was just talking about this on Bible study. Sarah gave hate because Sarah couldn't have kids. Backstory: Sarah couldn't have kids. She thought she was too old. Abraham was too old. Yada yada yada. She knew Abraham wanted a son, but also needed a son to fulfill the promise that God gave him. Right? So Sarah goes, take my maidservant, Hagar, have a baby with her. Now, again, Sarah gave Hagar to Abraham. Abraham, as the Bible says, he knows Hagar. He has sex with her. She has a baby. Sarah is now salty because she had a baby. Now, I brought that up because me and Pastor Kara was just talking about this. I think on Bible study we were just talking that, oh no, it was me and Talia. Sometimes we will taint the promise that God gave us because we would try to figure it out ourselves. Time misplaced. Wasn't the right time.
That's hidden.
Wasn't the right time.
That's hidden.
So now Sarah's treating Hagar dirty because she's big
because
hating.
you misplaced.
You misplaced your time.
You misplaced your promise.
And you tainted your promise and misplaced the timing of the season. It's like snowing in July. It snows in July this year. Everybody's gonna go crazy.
Right.
The world is gonna end.
Literally. Like what then?
So I ask you this. In what situation have you knew the direction where God was giving you to go, and it was hard to walk in that direction?
I feel like with where I'm at in life right now, that's kind of like what I'm figuring, that's where I'm at. I think so. That's, you know, and I'm kind of coming out of the tail half of that season in my life of, Lord, I don't know what exactly that you're doing, even though you told me, you know, it'll all work out in the end, and he's showing me visions. I think that's where I'm kind of at, and he actually told me that by the summer is when, you know, you're gonna have to really step out and you're gonna see everything that I'm kind of doing and revealing in your life. So I don't think I've already had that full experience. I think that's this summer is gonna be my experience for that.
Let me ask you a question. You went to Potomac Trails, right?
That's that. What's that waterfall?
It's like a mountain trail type thing.
Is it like has a waterfall?
I think so.
I think so. I know what you're talking about.
What was the journey like up to the waterfall?
I'm thinking of the right place. It goes up, right?
I believe so, yeah.
It was.
Describe the journey. Like, was it rough terrain?
My legs were done. Like, I honestly, probably on that hike, have never been, and I've been a pretty in shape kind of person, but my legs were cooked
I've been in A shape.
A shape. Like my legs going up were done, and I've never felt so exhausted in my life.
And then what did it look like once you got to where
It
you
was
was
like
trying to go?
I wanted to stay there because it was like you're looking out over everything. You just feel that air like splash you in the face, and you're like,
Did you see that math?
I see that.
You see the math.
Mm.
And I'm talking to myself too.
Mm-hmm.
The journey to the mountaintops always seems rough.
Always.
And sometimes you want to turn around
Right.
and go back because the car is already right there.
Right.
And we all know coming back down the mountain is always easier than going up,
Up.
the mountain.
Yep, because we was going down. Whoop.
It's smooth going down, but going up the mountain is rough. And you say you're in the time of life, you're in your mountain climbing season.
Right. I'm in my mountain climbing season.
And just like every time you get to the top of the mountain, you get a better overview
Right.
of everything.
Right. And the start of this season for me was very, very rough. Like, cause I wasn't hearing God like I was supposed to.
Why? Or why do you think rather?
I think personally it was because of I had a part of obedience, but then a part of disobedience.
Oh, come on, somebody.
I felt like I wasn't like lukewarm or anything like you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like, forget God, I'm gonna just be out here doing whatever. I just think that I was like, part of me wanted to do what God wanted me to do, but then at the same time, I knew the journey that was ahead, and I was kind of like, I think I might stop here and just park it a little bit. But then I remember my mom said to me, she was like, you can't stay right here.
Shut out.
You cannot stay right here. And then, ironically, when I told you about, I heard a church service, the preacher was preaching about Lodabar. And then that same Sunday that I came to your church, Pastor Kara was preaching out Lodabar. And everybody was like ministering to me like, you cannot stay there. And I was like, Lord, I can't stay.
For reference,
I was like,
Lodabar, it was the valley, right? The valley
like
of
a
dry
valley,
bones.
dry. There was nothing there. No, what do you call it?
It was dry. It was
Nothing
desolate.
could grow there. Nothing. It was just nothing. A place of lack. No survival, barely.
I do want to note out this is the reality of being a Christian. Oftentimes people perfection, and perfection is a myth. Excuse me. It was only one perfect, and it was Jesus. The rest of us are just striving to be more Christ-like.
Right.
I like how you said you was between obedience and disobedience.
I was.
I know for me, oftentimes when I'm finding myself hard to hear God because it's too many other things in my stratosphere.
And that was my
Right.
thing that I was dealing with personal life. Because I always look at it like this. There's your outside life, which it kind of coincides with each other. And then there's like that ministry side. Even though ministry carries even in your outside life, I kind of was putting a backseat to the ministry aspect, because I feel like God has placed me in different avenues within the school, within coaching, that where I'm doing basketball, I'm teaching, but also at the same time, I'm there to minister as well. And I was kind of like neglecting the ministry, and I was just going through the motions of, basketball, teach, instead of, combining and having that ministry aspect in full effect. I was kind of like putting it off to the side.
Yeah, because you can use anything to minister.
You can use anything.
And that's like God uses literally.
God has given everyone the ability to minister in some capacity. Whatever gift, whatever talent, whatever job that he's given anybody, you should be able, or he's given you the ability to minister. It'll look different for everyone else, and it'll be probably unnatural to the eye, but you are actually ministering in a lot of ways that we don't even realize.
Facts, because light ministers, and Jesus is a light, and if you have them in you, the light will minister.
Yep.
I will say this, and I find myself in this situation, to keep it a bill. I find myself nervous to pray about certain things.
You ain't the only one.
I find myself nervous to pray about certain things because I feel like I know the possible answers to these prayers, and I know the requirement of the possible answers.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like sometimes I'm in this gray area,
Yeah.
this like Twilight Zone type of situation, where I know I'm being obedient-ish.
Yeah. You're like,
Obedient.
Lord, I'm not out of your will, so but then you're
I'm
not also
patent pending, trademark pending,
obedient.
obedient.
Get on that.
I know, right? Because that's good. Right, and I know we not the only two. So what are you doing in that moment? Because, like I said, I feel nervous about praying about certain things because I know the requirements that's going to come with the answer.
I think the conviction of the calling on your life, and when you're not making those steps in it, the conviction will kind of slowly eat you alive.
Clearly, because we're sitting here talking about it.
Because that's like where I'm at. Like literally, I was like, it was slow. Like it started off in the beginning, like, oh, I'm all right, and then you would slowly eat away, and you would be convicted. And like I even started like taking a break from social media because he was like, did you delete your Instagram? I was like, yes, because too much stuff had my mind, and I was like, Lord, and he was convicting me, and I was like, he was like, I need you to take the time to actually like cry out to me. And that's like what I've been doing in the evenings after work. Like I've been literally in my word, talking to him, and that conviction just like had me like, enough is enough. And you'd be like,
spiritual algorithm.
You'd be like, it'll even take you to a place where, I don't want to say like, you're in a sense sick. You don't feel like, oh, like I'm ready. You know what I mean? But you're just like
spiritually down.
You're like, oh. And that's where I was, and I was just like, oh no, I don't like this feeling, and I don't like, you know what I mean? And that conviction just wrapped up in me, and I was like, gotta make a change.
No, I feel that. Well, guess I know what I gotta do.
But you know what? I find it, since I've been away from spending that time with him, it was so hard to get back into it. And that's a feeling. And there's 2 points in my life where I felt like that. When I was leaving high school, when I was in high school, and actually came to Word of Faith, that was like a season where I was just like, I ain't want nothing to do with nothing. And I always say this, and it was so hard to get back into, that relationship. Because I don't think I've ever lost a relationship. I just think it wasn't as strong. But it was so hard to get back into it. But once I got back into it, it was like a breath of fresh air. It's kind of like you're living on a a ventilator or whatever. And, sometimes you might take it off and you're like, can't breathe. But then once you finally get that breath of fresh air, you're like, you don't want to leave that place that you're in. And that's kind of like where I was within the last month or year, that now I'm kind of getting back into that place. It's like, now I don't want to leave it because you know how it feels, and it's like a breath of fresh air.
So I'm going to ask you a question. Because we talk about faith out of the familiar, right?
Faith out of the familiar.
Do you want God to feel familiar?
Do I want God?
Now, y'all listen. We do not prep these questions.
That's a loaded question. Do I want God? No. I'm gonna say no. I don't want God to feel familiar, because I believe, and we always say this in church, that we serve a God who does exceedingly abundantly above all that we could, ask or think. I think with that scripture, I'm thinking, I want him to do something that's unfamiliar, that'll blow my mind.
Okay, let me ask a better question, a more pointed question.
Okay.
I'm not talking about what he can do.
What he can do.
Because we know he can do all things.
Right.
Through Christ.
Yeah,
we can do all things. He can do all things. But I'm saying in the sense of, it's just like, I'm saying in the sense of like a relationship you would have with a woman. you don't want your woman to feel familiar. Because I feel like when it feels familiar, it feels stale
Okay.
and it gets stale. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're just going through the motions of it.
Right.
It's just like I'm on default and I just know what to do. And I feel like that happens a lot with church kids or preacher kids or church goers.
Yeah.
They get real delivered on Sunday
Right.
and then they struggling on Monday through
Right.
Saturday. Or they're not as, and I've done this myself. That's why I'm speaking from experience. I don't know. I feel like I want God to feel almost like, and this is gonna sound whatever. You know how the feeling of falling in love feels
Mm-hmm.
like that every day.
Oh, that butterfly.
Not. It's just that like just like grand appreciation of a person.
Okay.
This grand
Okay.
consideration
I understand.
of a
Okay.
person, and vice versa.
Right.
Now I know we all fall short. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's what I want my relationship to God to feel like.
To feel like that, like every day
This
is like a grand.
every day is a blessing
Is
to have
a new
a new something.
a new
yeah.
not a new appreciation, but a new. How am I trying to say this? Like you wake up and it's a new day, a new.
Right.
I know what you're saying, but I'm not. The words ain't connecting.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Hmm.
I know, right?
That was good.
That's how I'm sitting there
I
thinking
think that's
that.
how. I think that's how he intends it to be. Though.
Right. What's the scripture? Brand new mercies.
Brand new mercies. Lord help me.
Y'all know the scripture. Google it. It's a brand new day. And how do we achieve that though?
You
I don't know.
I always, what you're describing is always something like I desired, but never fully knew how to do that.
You know,
Like on a like you know what I mean. Like you get to that place where every new day is like, I think I need to.
You know what? As I'm sitting here, we talking, and I'm thinking about it. I tell people all the time that when you're in a relationship with a person, you wake up and choose. Come on, preacher. You wake up and choose that person every day.
Every day.
Yeah, you should wake up and choose to be in love with that person. And that's how I'm feeling about God right now.
You be like, Lord, I woke up and
I
chose
woke
you
up
today.
and chose you because God will always love us regardless.
Regardless.
But it is a decision and an intentional decision to serve and love God.
Right.
Yeah.
Should wake up and choose God every day.
Wake up and choose God.
Mm-mm-mm.
Choose to walk because you choose to walk in His presence. You choose to walk in His love, and you walk in His love regardless. But you choose to walk in obedience.
Right. So, do you think that that same feeling that you're describing is what Abraham had when he made the decision to fully, go in the direction God was having him go to?
I think Abraham and God had a very different relationship than him and everybody else in the Bible. I don't recall a time that God called anybody friend besides Abraham. So I feel like
I have to look that up now.
Huh?
I'm look that up now.
Right. I don't recall a time. I could be wrong. If you let me know if I'm wrong in the comments.
Please. We're not perfect. We don't know the full every
Yeah, I can't quote every scripture in the Bible. But I feel like their relationship it's like when you have a kid and your kid gets older. Like at the beginning it's very parental. It's always going to be parental. Right. But at some point y'all become more friends.
Well, yeah, that's why I seen with you and your son.
Yeah. So we're more friends now.
Right.
And I feel like it was like that with God and Abraham. Like God, you're the God the Father, but now you're also God the friend. And I feel like God he loved Abraham. I don't know if God loves people differently, like in different levels or whatever. I don't think he does.
I think he does.
But I feel like, okay, let me say this. I feel like Abraham had a special place in God's heart. Like David. Different, but like David.
Right.
So I think God he really loved and admired Abraham because Abraham had a non-wavering faith. Like even when Abraham was getting older, and he's like, God, you said I was supposed to get this inheritance and give it to my children or whatnot.
Right.
I ain't had a kid yet. And he clearly did not count Ishmael.
Right.
Neither here nor there. And God was like, I got you covered.
Right.
So I want to say this. In church, they don't teach you to ask God questions. They don't teach you to question God.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe that's God's character. It's countless examples in the Bible where people are having conversations with God like that. For real?
Mm-hmm.
Hezekiah was supposed to die, King Hezekiah. And he talked to God like, God, I need a little more time.
Mm-hmm.
God gave him 15. Lot was supposed to be burned up with Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
Abraham talked to God.
Did Job ask God why?
Why? I think he alluded to it. I don't think he came out straight up.
Why?
Why is this happening to me?
Because I feel like they might not leave that part out in the Bible, but he's probably like sitting at home like, what?
I think he got to a point that he was asking God why towards the end of the book. Because at the beginning, his homies came, and he like, listen, if God allowed this to happen, I'm Gucci,
Right?
you know. But I get as it prolonged, that's why God had to check him. Like he took him and showed him the universe. Like I did all this.
Right.
You don't think I got you covered, my boy?
Got you.
So I think if you have questions, ask God, and He will give you the answers. You know.
Do you believe Abraham had confirmation or conviction?
I think both.
Okay.
I think his faith both convicted him to be obedient, and it confirmed his obedience, because all the stuff that happened before God told him to leave his land, he did that. When God told him to take Isaac up to the mountain and chop him up as a sacrifice, he was like, Isaac, get your bag.
But come on, gotta do.
You don't need no extra draw because you ain't coming back, my boy.
Right.
But even on the way up there, Isaac was like, Dad, I don't see no lamb. I see wood for a sacrifice. I don't see no lamb, cow, nothing.
Right.
And Abraham was like, listen, the Lord will provide a lamb. Took him up there, sharpened his little knife. He was about to sushi Isaac.
He was. He definitely.
He was about to sushi him. And the angel came down, was like, slow down, killer.
Right.
Then a ram in the bush. So I think his faith was both conviction and confirmation. And can we be more like Abraham? Of course we can. But nowadays we have so many things. It's funny how our mind works. Because you know how they say, you can say 99 positive things, and then the one negative thing is what stands out.
And then and that thing just tears everything.
It tears everything down. It's crazy how that works, because even though people be like, it's so much on social media, it's so much good.
There is, yeah.
It outweighs it outweighs the bad on social media. Yeah. Our algorithms be jacked up because Google be listening.
I think my algorithm be jacked up. I'm like, Lord, what's going on here? Is this
so you got to reset your algorithm. Come on, somebody.
Reset your algorithm.
Don't steal my message, whoever's watching.
I think it's funny how you guys did Abraham and then you came up with this topic, because my whole the song I was working on and I've been rehearsing and recording is called Promises. And I started it, and actually it was another name before. The whole album was another name before I wrote that song. It was called, what was it? Now Entering What's Next or something like that, which kind of still coincides with it. But now that we're talking about Abraham and promises, like, I think it all makes sense to me now, because I said I was going to change the whole album to Promises, that this summer, and I'll go back to what I was saying, this summer, he's going to show me all the promises, and I'm going to fully walk in the promises that he has for me in this season. And it's kind of funny how everything just comes back and connects.
Like you were saying, I came up with this topic before we even talked about it on Bible study.
Right.
Because it's just been sitting on my heart. Not even connecting. Well, no, I did connect the Abraham part to it. But I believe And what's today's date? The 28th of April?
Is it?
You can
Yeah.
quote me on this, but I believe it's
Nope.
on both of us
29th.
to 29th
Yeah.
for a reason. And I believe God's put stuff on people's heart to mentally prepare them
For that.
for what's coming up. And we was talking offline, and I was like, I just feel like my Abraham moment is coming up.
Right.
My leave and do something else moment is coming up.
Right.
And I feel like you said, I feel like the summer, it's going to be one of them times where God is like, all right now,
Right.
pack up the pacer.
It's like everyone in my circle was saying that same exact thing. Because I was talking to my cousin, Aaron. He was just like, I don't know what's about to happen, but it just feel like the Lord, this upcoming couple months here is about to do. And I was like, that's crazy, because I had the same thought. I don't know what he's about to do, but I feel like it's about
Listen, I
everything
feel
is about
an elevation coming.
something. It's
something. And I will tell for the people watching, now we're talking about faith out of the familiar. And it's easy to stay in a place that's already comfortable. But there is no growth in being comforted or comfortability. I say that right?
comfortability. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no growth in it. Now I'm talking to myself as well as you and the people watching. And if God is nudging you, He's trying to get you out of this comfort zone.
Yeah.
Whether that comfort zone is, I told y'all in the first episode, talking to the camera by myself is very uncomfortable for me.
I don't like talking, period.
Yeah, let alone on camera.
Yeah.
Well, I like talking, but
I'm not a talker.
yeah. But if God is nudging you to get out of your familiar place, this is the time to do it. Because I feel like God is about to move the seasons to a fulfillment season. But the fulfillment of the promise always starts with obedience. It always it started like that with Abraham's case. It's going to start like that in my case, and Josiah's case, and your case. So if God is nudging you to do that, you have to be obedient and understand. In the story, Abraham had to leave stuff.
Yeah.
What did you say earlier about leaving stuff?
What did I say? Lord help me.
He don't even know.
I said a lot.
He said, in being obedient and moving to another season, sometimes everything that was in that past or current season cannot go with you to the next season. Now, whether that is family, friends, I'm big on ideas and philosophies. Ideas and philosophies, everything is not meant to go with you into the next season. Toby Nwingwe said, how can you receive a gift when both your hands is full? So sometimes you have to put something, sometimes you have to put what appears to be good down in order to receive what is God-given great. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna even add to that, because you know how you go into an elevator and the elevator is about to close, right? If you have your hands tied up and you can't get your hand out to stop the elevator from closing, you're gonna miss that window of opportunity
To get out?
Yeah. And you're gonna be stuck there waiting.
Yeah, that's facts.
Waiting for who knows how many other people are hitting that button. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
So,
and that's a bar.
That's a bar.
That's a bar, because sometimes when you have a gift and people get on your elevator, they will weigh your gift down.
Boy.
And they will have you stopping on levels you wasn't
Don't
supposed
even
to
need to be
at.
on.
And that is everything. I know it happens a lot in relationships, because we say it's easier to stay in something than to start over or get to know somebody again.
Yeah.
It's exhausting getting to know people.
Yeah.
It is exhausting. I know.
It's very
It's exhausting. But it's better than the alternative.
Yep.
If the alternative is staying in a place where I am slowly depleting or slowly dying, it's time for me to roll bounce.
Right.
It's time for me to roll bounce.
I think that's one of my areas of maturity that I like, that I'm starting to add a prayer to. Lord, help me in a way of maturity so that I can accept, what I need to leave and what I need to, because he promises for you to have something better in the end, but you don't even want to leave what's
now.
and it's not even better than what you about to get.
Hey man, they say faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
Yep.
And again, we say all this stuff. It's easy to say it from this couch and from that chair.
Very easy.
Practical application is a lot harder. It's harder for me, it's harder for him, and it's going to be harder for you.
It's the hardest part.
That is the hardest part,
You
practical
know the word, you
application.
can know the whole Bible, but sometimes you just can't apply that.
That's right.
Some people just can't apply it.
But that's God's grace.
Yeah,
And
God's grace.
If you don't apply it, like, my bad, God. That's on me. But we encourage you guys to get out of the familiar place. When you step out of the familiar place, that's when progression happens and growth happens. So don't get stuck. Don't let the cement boots weigh you down. And don't be afraid to accept the fact that sometimes some things have to end. Some things have to end. Somebody was talking about leaves on a tree, how they know when to drop off the tree. Right, and that new leaves won't be able to grow if the old ones never drop off.
I didn't know they dropped off. I thought they just fell. I don't know.
Would that be the same thing? Drop off and fall?
I guess. But it's like, but it's nature. So like, nature talks to each other. Like, hey, branches. Like, hey, leaves. Go ahead.
It's time to go.
Time to go.
You had a good run this year,
Yeah,
guys.
a good run. I need some new leaves.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what we go close this out with. Get out of the familiar. And seek God for your next season. And ask God to show you a direction. Show you a direction. If you don't have a direction, you will be walking in circles like the Gap Band.
That's good.
You got that reference?
I did get that reference.
Cool. He's a musician. He got it. So you want to say something before we get out of here?
I just want people to realize before we leave, adding on to what you're saying, that you can't miss your window of opportunity as well. Because I also think it's a window of opportunity. And someone said to me, God gives you ideas. I'm going from an idea perspective. God gives you ideas and things, but he also gives other people those same ideas to fulfill what he wants them to. And if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. So who's not to say if Abraham didn't listen, God wouldn't have went to somebody in his family and be like, hey, why don't you?
I need you to do something for
I
me.
need you to do it because Abraham don't want to do it. And then Abraham's mad because he ain't.
Listen, once God say a word, it has to come to pass.
Has to.
It absolutely, and that's a good point. That's a good point. But I will say, last thing, if God gave you a word to do something, there are people attached to that word that he gave you. So that's all I'm going to say.
That's it.
This has been a good talk.
Good talk.
And I'm glad we had it.
Glad we had it.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, and share. And that's it, man. Love y'all. Peace.